So Esquimalt-Metchosin, this jurisdiction is home to one of the fastest growing areas in this whole region. And traffic is an ongoing problem, which is a time factor. It's time with your family. It's time to and from. There's an environmental impact for that. There's a stress and frustration part to that. So as this growth will continue, one of the solutions that's been put forward is from BC Ferries for a West Shore ferry service that would go from Royal Bay and Colwood into the center of the city, as well as probably to CFB Esquimalt. BC Ferry CEO Mark Collins says there's a very strong business case for that. Will you, in this campaign and going forward, work to bring that project forward? And let's begin with RJ Senko.
Well, thank you. And as I have been knocking on doors and phoning people, which is an interesting experience during a pandemic, but I've been very encouraged by people's reaction on the doorstep, willing to engage. And certainly transportation, the growth in the West Shore, particularly in Colwood, is an issue that needs to be addressed. So I very much would support the idea of the ferry service. I would work with the local governments. I'd work with BC Ferries, DND, BC Transit would have to be involved in that as well. And private interests to see what we can do to get that running. Years ago, DND used to run a ferry service of their own. So I think that they might be willing to get involved in that. And I think that that's a kind of positive environmental effect as well from removing cars off of our roads. So I'd also work though with the Island Corridor Foundation. I have a 30-year history with the ENN line, having worked on that issue when I was on Parliament Hill. So I very much support that and look forward to hearing what the other candidates have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, RJ. Next, let's go to Andy MacKinnon. Andy.
Absolutely. This is a project that makes great social, economic, and environmental sense. And I would certainly support it. Its great champion is my friend Rob Martin, who is the mayor of Colwood, with whom I served on the library board. I've lived in Metchosin for more than 3 decades now, and I've seen the population increase happening and the increase in difficulty in moving people about. We're going to have somewhere between 2 and 3 times the population of Metchosin living in Royal Bay. And unless we take some steps to have this kind of alternative transportation, we're not going to get any relief. It will move people, but not vehicles to downtown, which is a double benefit. And I think it would probably be moving ahead quite well now if it hadn't been downplayed by the minister in the New Democratic Party government. I would certainly champion this project. I think it's a great one.
Andy MacKinnon, thank you very much. Mitzi Dean.
Well, thank you. Yes, I have been working with the people who have been investigating this as a possibility, and more work is needed. We need to make sure that our decisions are based on evidence and science and environmental impact as well. And it's important to remember that any discussion of a ferry is only one part of the larger equation of how we move people and goods around, because even planning a ferry has to take an integrated regional approach because people have to get to and from the terminals. So our solutions toolkit for South Island also includes bus lanes and rapid buses, improvements to travel corridors like Highway 1 and Highway 14, active transportation corridors like the Galloping Goose and the ENN, government offices in the West Shore and the Archives building, for example. Mobility is a quality of life issue. We have to factor in childcare and schooling, and it's an economic and environmental issue as well. We want to be able to help people work where they live and live where they work. Thank you.
Thank you, Mitzi.